So hello everyone, this is day 9 of writing 15 smart contracts in 15 days. Today we will be writing a smart contract for DeployFactory, right? So why are we writing this DeployFactory? Because this holds a nice use case in the development of decentralized applications, right? So let's first understand what is this DeployFactory. So whenever there is a need to deploy the instances of the contract, we use a smart contract of deploy factory, right? So I have demonstrated this using a diagram where there is a main contract, and now if there is a need to deploy this main contract using different wallet addresses, right? Like from wallet address 1, wallet address 2, and from wallet address 3. So what we will be doing is we'll be having a main contract and we'll write a deploy factory contract for deploying all the all the instances of this smart contract using all these user addresses. Yeah, so this is pretty much it for deploy factory. Now let's first understand this deploy factory using a nice example. So I'm having a diagram over here. So let's take an example of social media application, right? So when we are using a social media application like Instagram, which is a centralized system, right? So whenever we need to create our account, we have a profile over there and we have a portfolio and we have some account details. Not portfolio, but we have a profile and account details, right? Which is being stored in a centralized database, right? Okay. Now, yeah, we this is stored in a centralized database. Okay. But in the case of decentralized application, let's say we are using Instagram on a decentralized system, right? Like Instagram on Ethereum. So how can we do that? So if we need to create an account on that social media that is decentralized, so what we need now, there we can't store this in the centralized database, right? So what we need is we need to deploy three smart contracts for all the three users, right? So how will we able to do that? We will be able to do that using this deploy factory, right? So for this, the profile of user one will be stored in a individual smart contract. Then the profile of user 2 will be stored in individual smart contract and similar for address 3 as well, right? And all these smart contracts are the instances of this smart contract. Let's say this smart contract holds the function like posting where the users can like the post, the user can comment on the post, but they will be doing all this functionality using their separate smart contract. Right. So yeah, this was pretty much it about the deploy factory. Right. So now what we will be doing is creating a simple deploy factory for a simple smart contract. Yeah. So for this, what we need is first set up a Hardhat project. So let's go to Hardhat and installation. So first let's open up our terminal and I'll make a directory on desktop, make directory deploy factory. And then I will open it up in my code editor, right? And then what I need is to copy this command, Control C. Why is it taking some time? Yeah, so it's open over here. I didn't navigate okay, CD DeployFactory, DeployFactory code. Yeah. So project is open in my code editor. Now what I need is to set up a simple Hardhat project in this directory. So I will initialize it using npm init. This is initializing the project. So enter version is this, no description. Okay. Yeah. So I've got my package.json over here, and then I will install Hardhat. And what is the another command? That is npx hardhat init. Right? Yeah. So we have installed Hardhat onto a machine. Now let's initialize this. Yeah, it says create a simple JavaScript project for me. The root directory is this directory. And yeah, add a git ignore for me. And yeah, I need the toolbox too. It's taking some time. Yeah. So we got Hardhat set it up on our machine. Now what I need is to make our base contract, right? So let's take an example of this. So first I have to make this smart contract, right? Where user can actually make their profiles, right? So let's first write our base smart contract. So we'll keep it simple, right? Just making a file called MyContract dot solidity, right? And just first give the license identifier, then the version with which you want your solidity code to compile, pragma. Why is it not coming? Yeah, pragma, and then version which I'm using is 0.8.28. So I mentioned this over here. Okay. Then I will initialize the contract using contract keyword and my contract, okay, and then the address with which the contract will be deployed. So address public owner, ADDRESS. Address public owner. Then what I need is a constructor function in which I will assign owner equals to owner, right? Yeah. Okay. Now we'll be creating a simple function, right? Just to greet what is happening over here. Yeah. Function, which is, let's say, hello, right? It will be a public external view and require, sorry, returns. string memory, right? And it returns. mm, Yeah, if we are using external, we don't have to use this. Okay, hello, the contract deployed, right? And yeah, here I'll be using view. Right? Okay. Mm, Yeah, I have to pass an argument into this constructor as well. So address phone, right? Now this should go.
So what we have done is we don't actually have to use this view and we'll mark this as public. Yeah.
Base smart contract, right? Now what we need to do is write our deploy factory, right? So I'll create a file called deploy factory dot solidity. Let me check that my voice is clear. Yeah, it's connected. Yeah, it's connected over here. Okay. Yeah. So now what we need is to write the deploy factory, right? So for that, we first have to give the license identifier, then solidity, and then what we need is to import this smart contract into our deploy factory. So import dot slash my contract dot sol. Yeah. So it's deployed. It's imported over here, right? Now contract contract deploy factory. Right. Now what we need is a mapping. We need a mapping of address, right? And addresses. Okay. We will be naming this as deployed contracts. So with which we will be having a log of how many contracts is being deployed, how many instances of the contract is being deployed, right? Then we need a address array, address array public, and the deployed contracts lists, right? So over here, we will be keeping a log of all the addresses which are being deployed, right? Then we'll have a simple event called contract deployed, right? Which will be returning us the address of the owner and the contract address which he or she had deployed using the wallet. Now, what we need is a function to deploy, right? Which is an external function, external, and yeah, my contract. Yeah, so my contract, it has now here actually created the instance for us, right? Okay, and over here, deployed contracts dot message dot sender dot push address new contract, right? So it is actually pushing the wallet address or the contract which the user has deployed to this deployed contracts, right? Okay. Then it is also pushing that to this deployed contract lists, and it's just emitting this message, right? Now what we need is a function to get the user's contracts, right? So yeah, we got the user contracts, right? And this is having a parameter called users, right? And this function will return all the deployed contracts of this user address, right? Then we need a function called get all contracts. So this will return all the contracts, all the instances of our base smart contract, right? So this is pretty much it for our deploy factory smart contract. Okay. Now what we have to do is deploy this smart contract, right? Not this smart contract, right? So let's first write the ignition script for for deploying our contract factory. So I'll make deploy.js over here, then cons build module wants to require yeah, Hardhat toolbar. So yeah, it's correct. And then module dot export equals to build module. Mm, it's deploy factory, deploy factory, comma, m, and our arrow function, right? And then cons factory equals to m dot get factory. At we have to use deploy factory and the yeah, this should work. Not this is get factory m dot contract. We have to use m dot contract deploy factory, right? And it should return factory. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. Now let's just the deploy factory smart contract. So npx hardhat, the command is npx hardhat deploy, I think. Deploy. Let me just quickly see the command. I forgot the command. Yeah, npx hardhat ignition deploy. Ignition deploy dot slash ignition and then modules and then deploy.js. And now what we need is to configure the networks as well on which I need my smart contract to deploy. So over here, configs config. Yeah, over here it is giving us the, now we have to copy this network. Let's see, paste it over here, right? What is it saying? It should go eventually. Okay. And over here, you have to paste your private key and the Infura URLs key. So go to Infura and copy your key from here and paste it over here. Okay. And now I'll quickly paste my private key over here, right? So just give me a second. Okay, so I have stored my private key of my wallet and the Infura key into this hardhat config.js. Now over here, the network is Sepolia, right? And we'll hit enter. So it is deploying our deploy factory. This will take some time to deploy. Yeah. So this says that our deploy factory is deployed onto this contract address. So let's go to Etherscan and just paste our transaction over here. And yeah, this says that the contract is deployed. This is my wallet address, right? Now what we have to do is deploy the instances of this smart contract, right? So how can we do that? We will be able to do that. So for this, I have to write script. So I'll go and test and just make interactions.js, right? And now I'll just go and copy this code. I'll tell ChatGPT to give me the script to do the interactions. Give me the script. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. So let's just paste it over here.
Interactions.js, V, and copy our contract's address and paste it over here. Okay. And over here also, I have to load the
Now I have to load the private key of my second wallet, right? So let's just open my second wallet, right? Okay, got it. Now what I will be doing is deploying the instance of the smart contract using this wallet address. So I need a private key for this. So I have loaded my second wallet address private key into this hardhat config.js. Now let's just deploy that. So for that I need a command to run, right? And then this, yeah, it is in test and network Sepolia. Now this should deploy the instance of a smart contract, right? It's not this, it's interactions.js slash network Sepolia. Yeah, so it is saying deploying my contract instance from this, which is my this wallet address, which is my this wallet address over here. So yeah, it says that it is deployed. So let's go to Etherscan. And as I hit refresh over here, yeah, as I hit refresh over here, I get the instance of this smart contract over here, and this smart contract, which is the instance of this smart contract, is a separate smart contract deployed onto this address, right? So see, and let's just check this and enter. Wait a second. Yeah, so this says that this contract is being deployed from this wallet address. I'll show you my wallet address as well. It starts from 0xE4 and over here is it is also 0xE4, right? So what we have done, we have actually deployed the instances of the smart contract onto the Sepolia testnet, right? So yeah, this was pretty much it for today. See you tomorrow.